Ivan, we hear a lot of good things about this young man, Braxton Woodson. He's a good-looking freshman. We've seen him in practice doing some good things. He's getting closer and closer to possibly being able to play in the game. What can you tell us about Braxton?
He checks all the boxes. And first and foremost, he's a great kid, smart kid. Was raised very, very well. Has great pedigree. Uncle played at Alabama, was a starting quarterback there. So he has all the tools. Just got to continue to get him ready. He has his ups and downs, like any freshman. Started off camp great, and then obviously school starts. Then they hit that wave.
Yeah, sure.
Then kind of goes down, then comes back up, and then exams come. So he's been up and down. But when he does figure it out, he's going to be a really good football player. And in practice, he just does some great things. You can see all the potential that's there. And he understands where he is right now, and that he has to continue to work. Can he play right now? Yeah, he can go into a game. Got to call the game different, And I'm sure Coach Chestnut understands that, and we've talked about that as well. So, but he has all the tools, and very, very promising.
So, what would you say are his best attributes? I've been out here at practice where I saw him make a throw down the sideline that was right on the money, dropped right into the guy. I've seen him on a goal line drill, fake to the fullback, and boom, going past the first and second level. He's in the end zone before you know it. So he's got some burst. What would you say are some of the attributes that you see that lead you to believe he could be a very good quarterback down the road?
It's just physical right now. The mental part will come, but he can throw the football. He can spin it really, really well. That was one thing I was really impressed by, how well he threw the football. He ran option in high school, and he's a 600-meter kid.
Right.
Okay. And
so he's got the speed.
And you can see him when he runs, when he decides to go, you'll see it. So again, now just got to get the mental part of it down. So again, all the physical tools are there. He can throw it. He can run. He's run ops, so he understands the language of it. But again, this level, it moves faster. Okay. It's a lot of different things that we're doing from an option standpoint that he has to learn, and he's getting there. But again, he's a very eager to learn student of the game. Loves playing the game, loves being a quarterback. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited to get the chance to coach him.
In terms of running, Kaipo was a guy that had great straight line speed. If he got it, hit a crease on an option keeper, he could go.
Yes.
But he wasn't a wiggle guy, jukes. Malcolm, on the other hand, was a guy that could use his hips to make guys miss, put his foot in the ground, and make cuts. Is Braxton a straight line speed guy, or is he a guy that actually also has some wiggle?
He can change direction, but obviously, he's not like Malcolm. I mean, they'll never, not compared to him.
Not going to be another Malcolm.
Definitely has some wiggle, but that's one thing I've talked to him about working on more.
Eventually, got to make somebody miss.
Quicker feet, but he has some wiggle in him. But just got to get him to be more explosive. He's a lot longer, longer legs. So again, everything has to be short space, quick is what he needs to work on. Okay, between tackles, being able to burst and get going like that. So again, he works on it. I'm trying to coach him to get better at it. But overall, I have to do a better job of getting him ready to play. Better job, continue to nurture him, and make sure when his time does come, he's ready to go.
So you are one of the few people still around who was here when Keenan Reynolds was here.
Yes.
And I love Keenan's on my podcast, and he said, if I had a dime for all the guys they said was going to be the next Keenan Reynolds, I'd be, rolling in some money.
Yes.
But is there any comparison between this guy and Keenan Reynolds? And the thing about Keenan was not only was he talented, but he had it up here. And I had mentioned to Coach Newberry that Keenan came here on his spring break when he was still in high school, so he could learn about the offense and get pointers. He took a playbook home in the summer so he could learn. Coach Newberry informed me that Braxton actually came here during spring ball. Is there any comparison between Braxton and a guy like Keenan, who was really the last guy to start as a freshman and have success?
Well, like Malcolm, you can't compare anybody to Malcolm. You can't compare anybody to Keenan. I mean, it's very rare that you get a freshman that comes in and just has that it factor. Not saying that Braxton doesn't have it, but Keenan just carried himself differently. Keenan was a quarterback, and people who play the position understand what I say. But I mean when I say he's a quarterback. So again, Braxton's not there. Again, the maturity level, he'll get there. Again, he's taking a lot of freshman lumps, but Keenan being able to come in as a freshman. Now he had to wait his turn, but when he got his chance in the biggest game of the year, I mean, he showed up and he continued. Obviously, the rest was history. But for him to do that, for Keenan to do that, again, just reminds me of how special he was. And again, but Braxton, again, is not Keenan. Braxton is Braxton, but again, Keenan's maturity level and football IQ was just off the charts, So not saying Braxton's not a smart kid, but he has all the tools to be a great quarterback, and at some point this year, he will help us somewhere.
It's funny, Keenan mentioned to me, he actually said this on our pod the other day because we were talking about the quarterback situation. He said, You know, when I first made my first career start, it was in Ohio, I believe. It was, forget who you guys.
Central Michigan.
Central Michigan,
Yes.
that's right, Michigan. And he said that Coach Jasper said, now if you lose your mind, we're putting Trey back in. So there was a leash even then, but he didn't lose his mind.
Exactly.
What's the biggest thing? Is it reading defenses and making checks? Is that the hardest thing?
The hardest part is mechanics, again, because, again, he's a lot longer. Okay, legs are a lot longer, so he has to tighten everything up with his steps. He's so elongated sometimes, you know, that he's not as fast getting off the mesh, but he's getting a lot better. He's had a lot of reps, getting a lot better. But again, it's the checks, getting us into the right play, recognizing some things, you know, and he has his ups and downs with them. He sees it, but he just can't recognize it right now.
Process it real fast.
So again, that's my job. My job is to make sure that when he sees it, he recognizes faster, and he'll be ready to play.